For this video, I will be transforming this old backpack into a chest bag. Here are some of the items you will be needing for today. Not all of them, but most of them. Here are some alternatives. You can use elastic, you can use some belting, or you can use a wide shoelace. You will also be needing 2 carabiners and 2 binder rings. Here are some pictures that I pulled some inspiration from. These are the 3 bags I had in mind, and I wanted to combine these 3 looks into one bag. However, this does change as I begin to cut the bag apart. I really liked how this back part of the backpack looks, so I wanted to add this to the front piece. I also wanted to keep the pocket from this backpack, so there will be no zipper installing in this video. Front piece is going to be 7 by 9 inches. Let's begin with removing the stitches and cutting away the back piece. Now place the background pattern piece on top and pin down. Add a 1/2 inch seam allowance all around and cut away. I want to make sure all these items fit inside this pocket, so this is going to be an outline of how big my pocket needs to be, which is 7 and 4.5 inches wide. I also wanted to add this netting piece to my back, so I'm going to cut it off. Another part of the backpack I want to be using is the straps on this bag. And I also want to use the other side of the bag, which has some pen holders or pencil holders. For the back piece of my bag, I'm just going to be folding this under itself about 1.5 inches, and I'm going to place it on top, and this is going to be the size for my back piece. For the front piece, I'm just going to be removing the stitches on this so I can stitch all the way around. I'm going to turn it inside out, and then I'm going to insert the foam to the inside. The length of the foam was too long, so I ended up removing at least 1/2 inch from the bottom. I'm also going to be trimming away 1/2 inch of the seam allowance from the inside. Next, I'm going to grab my zipper foot and stitch the bottom closed. I still wanted to keep the original design, so I decided to stitch back down the design. When it comes down to the zipper flap, I decided I was going to cut along the edge, fold it to the inside, and add this reflective tape in between. When it comes down to making the pocket, you want to make sure you have a 1/2 inch separation from the edge on the side, and then 1/2 inch from the top. Place the pattern piece on top and trace all the way around. Since we want the height of this pocket to be 1 inch, we're going to be adding a 1 inch border all around, and on each corner we're going to be adding a 1/4 inch of seam allowance. Now fold the corners towards each other and stitch a 1/4 inch. Now repeat the same process on every corner and turn the pocket inside out. We're also going to be adding a hidden pocket on the inside. So you're going to be cutting out the same piece of the pocket size, but just a 1/4 inch smaller all the way around. Now you want to chalk the outline of the pocket. We're also going to be adding these straps to the front piece. So we're going to stitch from one side and then stitch on the other side. We're going to stitch down these flaps. We're also going to be adding these buckles, so we have to sew down the straps for the buckles. You can buy these at Joann's. They cost around $5 or so, but they always have a coupon and you can always get them for cheap. Going back to the straps, you want to sew down these straps at least a 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch above the stitching line. Now you want to pin down the pocket and then stitch around at least a 1/4 inch. Be careful of the elastic, make sure you push it off to the side. Here you want to match the chalk line and the edge of the pocket, and then you're going to pin this down and sew around the edge at least a 1/4 inch. This third pocket piece is going to be at least 4 inches or 3 inches or so. I'm going to be adding that netting on top of this pocket piece and chalk 1/2 inch from above, and then you want to fold itself under. Here you want to add a piece of 1 inch elastic on top as a flap. Then we're going to be grabbing the fold over zipper flap and we're going to be adding that as a binding. We're also going to be adding another piece once again on the edge. To be adding this reflective tape, and this is going to pop out at least a 1/4 inch from the bottom, so you can chalk a line that's 3¼ inches above. Now stitch this in place. I'm going to be using the side panel and add it to my bag. So I just fold this in half, and you want to make sure it's the same dimensions from the other bag. And I'm going to stitch 1/4 inch all the way around, and then I'm going to attach it to the bag and stitch a 1/4 inch from the seam allowance. This piece is going to be the back side of my bag, and I'm just going to be adding this 1-inch strap or 2-inch strap to the back and stitch on the edge. Next, you want to cut out a couple of straps. These are about 4 inches or so, and you're going to attach them to the bag. Begin to insert your hardware into the loopholes. For the length of the straps, I just use this shoelace as a way to give me a reference on how long they need to be. Once cutting the straps out, you want to make any minor adjustments and then stitch everything down in place. And you want to stitch down 1 inch away from the edge of the strap fold. We're going to be reusing the backpack straps and use them as belt loops. Here we're going to be adding a zipper on the edge just to give it that clean finish look. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, and thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.